Get real slow.
Any moment. Any moment. Come on, guys. Oh, all right. You do know that I my main system for doing the podcast on is a 2011 iMac. So I mean, it's only a 10-year-old iMac. It does take a little while. Good morning. I think we are now live. Hi everyone. Good morning. We have the Three Amigos or the Three Stooges or whatever.
Can we go Ritz Brothers?
Ritz Brothers. Oh, deep dive. Ritz
Let's
Brothers.
make a timely reference.
The Costco version of the Marx Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know we're early, but this will also make sure people know that we are starting early. I do like to torture our guests and make him get up crazy early on a Sunday that's also got daylight saving happening.
Here's the deal, John. I know why there are often times in your podcast where you guys seem so rage filled, and it is because you meet in the middle of the night to record this thing. It is daylight saving. It's literally 3 weeks ago at 2 a.m. thanks to daylight savings time, and you have us here talking about. Check my notes here. Marchintosh.
Yes, Marchintosh. That is the
whatever those are.
That is the proper pronunciation. I know people tend to call it Marchintosh, but that is totally wrong. Totally wrong. Accent is just way off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe if there was a style guide or something, it'd be a lot easier.
We are our own style. Yeah, Speaking of style, I have to say, Joe, you're wearing a pretty awesome shirt there. Ron, you're wearing a fantastic shirt there.
Listen, shameless self-promotion. That's how it goes.
I actually have a couple of RetroMacCast shirts that I do wear occasionally. Of course, today I am sporting a very nice IT crowd.
1-1-999-8819-9119-725-3.
Yes, such good stuff. Did you know they tried to do an American version of IT Crowd?
Yeah, with
Joel McHale.
Yeah, Joel McHale.
And Richard Iotti still, but what's that?
Yeah, I have a great Joel McHale story.
Oh, please share.
I occasionally do acting and I occasionally do things, but I was not there to act. I was there to support the 11th season of Mystery Science Theater 3000, but I was on set one day, and it was the day that Joel McHale was there to do all of his stuff, and I went over to Kraft and I walked over there and there's Joel McHale, and he's getting like a bowl of cereal, and I was like Joel, like I'm sorry, I know you're busy, but very nice to meet you and stuff, and community and all that type of stuff. And and I was like, hey, I've got this question. I was like, I said, is it okay? I said, I understand Chevy Chase is just the worst, but is it okay to still like the Fletch movies and all that? And he goes, yes, as long as you're committed to just being a terrible person.
Now, what I was talking about the Fletch movies. He was almost going to be the next Fletch. I remember there being talk about that at some point. Yeah,
there's a lot of people that were up for that, but he ended up playing Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase in the National Lampoon movie, which I still haven't seen. Yeah,
you need to watch it. It's really good. There's two that kind of came out around the same time, and they're both excellent.
Fantastic. All right, so you know what? It is now almost 8:00. I suppose we should actually talk about some Macintoshes. Whatever. So boring. No. All right, so let's. We're gonna do the audio portion here. Hopefully, all goes well.
I don't know what happened to Joe, but it's serious.
Whatever happened, it happened a long time ago, and it's been going on ever since.
All right, well, welcome to episode 607 of the RetroMacCast. I have not one, not two. Yeah, two. I have two guests with me today. Joe from Joe's Computer Museum and Ron from Ron's Computer Videos. Sorry. Is it videos or video? Ron, show
Well,
me your shirt.
if I just had the one upload, then it would just be video. Oh, I forgot. I'm
Video, right.
reversed. Yeah, it would just be the video.
All right.
So,
Okay. Sorry about
but there's
that.
more than one, so it's videos, plural.
I just figured this was kind of like a Truman Show thing where it was constantly recording you at all times. So it really technically is just the one video.
Right.
Just the one.
And just to be
all the
clear,
time.
I'm working on Joe's Computer Museums, but I haven't quite gotten there yet.
Still
It's a
waiting
work
on
in
that
progress.
funding.
It's a work in progress. Well, all right. So these two fine gentlemen are on this morning to talk about Marchintosh. And I've already seen quite a few fun things come through, but we will get to that in just a bit. We will be right back with eBay finds. And I pause the recording and let us check and see all who is in the chat this morning. Oh, I see some guy, James Savage, new listener. Good morning, James. We got Steve, Mac84. I see Dave from Dave's Vintage Apple Computer Tech. Jeremy. We've got new listener, Apple's Anonymous. Good morning, everyone.
Listen, 65 Scribe is here, and he's like one of my favorite people. Like, I just it's like ASMR Macintosh history. It's wonderful. I love those videos, and I'm absolutely looking forward to the full uncut mine video at some point in the future. Fans of his channel will understand what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. Let us move on to our eBay finds. Let me get them up myself here. And let me figure out how to share the screen. Because, again, and trying to keep the gerbils running in their cage to keep my Mac going. I do have an i7 to upgrade it from the i3 it is right now. Share screen. Sorry guys, I know this is exciting streaming action.
This is my favorite part of the show, honestly, is seeing how the sausage is made.
Kielbasa. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me get recording going. All right, eBay finds. So looking around this morning, and I found a really fun one. It's the Apple Macintosh 512K accessory kit, just the kit. So not just the box, but the box and the innards, which you very seldom see come up just on its own. I've seen the empty box come up before, or of course they come up a lot of the times when they're with a computer being sold. So just having the accessory box, pretty neat. And this thing looks like it's got all the goodies in it. I've got the discs, you've got the Macintosh Mac Paint Manual, you've got the cassette tape, you've got the stickers, even the Modern Tourist stickers. Mm-hmm. I've never actually seen one of these in person. I don't know if either of you have this kit.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
I was going to say, no, I don't have this kit, but looking at it, just from the pictures itself, is insanely fascinating. It looks really clean, super sharp, and the value, if you're a collector of such things, of such completedness items, things for what they're asking for it, I think it's in the ballpark of what makes sense for that full kit. But then again, I'm the kind of guy who collects like offcuts and things of that nature and never pays full price. So I'm not sure if the value really is a good value.
Well, I was thinking $275 is for having this kit again, especially if you already have the computer and don't have the kit. $275, not bad, and that's a buy it now. But there's even a make an offer on this, which means you could probably get it down to, they might take up, $225, $250. Really not bad. And of course, shipping on this is going to be cheap compared to a whole system, and probably a whole lot less chance of you getting a computer and parts nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. I think bearing the lead here, this thing includes the programmer's keys. like the most commonly lost thing on all of these kits. So you've actually got like the program reset key, and then also look at these labels, man. Like not a one of them has the
that weird thing where the adhesive has started to
adhesive
kind of seep
degrading.
through. Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty cherry. Like this is really
Yeah,
nice.
it really
if you were
is.
looking to complete your your 512, like this would be like a really nice kit.
So here's a question for you. This brings up Ron. You mentioned about the programmer's key. So did that not come on the computer itself to begin with?
No,
Is something you actually installed?
Yeah, you had to stick that on the side yourself.
Really?
because-
I didn't know that. Wow. Huh.
And so that's really like a commonly missing thing, especially on 128s and 512s and all. So
That is crazy. I always just assumed so. Most of the compact Macs I bought from school sales, and I just assumed that like teachers removed them to stop the kids from messing with them and restarting the computers and stuff. I didn't
they were
realize
probably never really installed in the first place.
Yeah, wow.
Because it sat in the box, and they were like, it's just another thing to worry about.
Yeah.
So
that's some interesting knowledge there.
Stuck the stickers on their lunchbox and just forgot about it. And then, and then the
wait, no. Stuck the stickers on something random so they could later sell on eBay as a rare Apple branded item.
A little side light on this beside each of the classroom doors is where I always saw those things stuck.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like this. One of these stickers is stuck to a globe that still has the USSR on it. It's like official Apple globe from the 80s.
Right. Rare.
Includes rare Czechoslovakia and
Yugoslavia.
right, yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. So next up, we would talk about computers being broken and shipping. Well, how about if you just buy your computer pre-broken, saving you all sorts of stress. So next up, we have a vintage Apple Macintosh Classic for parts or repair. Normally you get one like this. It's like, okay, you maybe the cap's on the board probably or something like that. It's a gamble. Maybe it's worth it. This one is this thing was handled with malice. Somebody was angry at a computer. This thing is cracked. I mean, it looks like it was dropped from the back.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dragged behind a horse like Clint Eastwood.
This computer wronged someone in a very personal way. And
John, I think you mispronounced that. It was handled with mallet.
Yes, like an Office Space sort of situation, perhaps. Right.
Yes, I love the screen and how it looks like it's been dragged through a field.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's mud on the screen. I pray to God it's mud. But
this computer has seen some stuff. This is going back to Clint Eastwood. This is like old Clint Eastwood aged Macintosh here. This is.
I have a dispute. There's a crack in the panel.
Yeah, I'd get that filed immediately.
And somebody should have come up with a story for this, because just in the description it just says vintage Apple Macintosh Classic for parts or repair. Not they were trying to exorcise a demon. Not that they found this Macintosh with somebody's wife.
This is the star of that video of that one grumpy guy who takes his keyboard and smacks it across the screen.
Right. Yes. Early. That's a nice deep dive. Viral. So like $25 is the starting bid, or you can buy it now at $60.
Yeah, the seller has no feedback. Imagine that. But do we know for a fact that this isn't Sean from Action Retro? I mean, this machine looks pretty cursed. It's the cursed Mac Classic.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. So last up, for the week is I thought it would be fun to do an auction for the old Cube, since of course Apple just released their new Cube, that we'll talk about in the news. But so this is a very, very nice system. It's a little pricey, but for everything that it comes with, I still think it's reasonable. So you got the Power Macintosh G4 Cube with 1.5 gig of RAM, 120 gig solid state drive in there. Very nice. Speaker cone replacement. So this has the clear globular speakers to go with it.
Puck speaker.
And it has the CDs. Yeah. And I haven't had an issue with the cones disintegrating on mine yet, but I have heard it is an issue. Mm-hmm. So buy it now, $775, or make an offer. And I also want to point out that the display still has the kickstand. Because I don't know what it is about these displays, but I see them so often where it's missing the back leg. And I only assume it's because people were carrying them around by that back leg. And they're snapping off. Because why else would there be so many missing?
I think it's when these things went into storage. Because if you've ever seen one, that leg does not go completely flush down to the machine. It sticks off the back.
Yeah. Okay.
So when people put these guys in storage, they were like, we've only got so much space, just crush it. And a lot of them snapped off or were just removed because, I'm a librarian and I've only got this closet and I got to stick them all in there. So
what I like about this auction is that they're actually showing the cube connected to the monitor to prove that the cube actually functions.
Yeah.
Understanding that those things kind of go thermonuclear sometimes. So that's good.
Well, the fact that this has a solid state, I mean, that's a lot of the heat out of one of the sources of heat out of the thing, at least, and probably a little bit more breathing space for air to move around in there. Of course, I've seen some. I've seen some amazing cube mods by Mac84 Steve. He's made me buy things on eBay that I have yet to install in my cube just because I've watched his videos, and he's really souped up some cubes.
Mm-hmm. I do like that the seller here made sure to include all the information about their home's wireless network as part of the auction photos. It's like, this machine has a MAC address, and here is the proof.
Yeah, there we go.
Don't dox this guy. People are going to be on his free Wi-Fi now. Oh.
Why are these cars parked outside my house?
Gonna get a call from Comcast now. Do you understand that they're running all of the traffic for the Eastern Seaboard through your house, right?
So $775, guys. I think that's pretty good for everything.
Yeah.
But free local pickup from Brooklyn, New York. You got to drive into Brooklyn. I mean, come on.
Go see Rossman while you're there. Just take it straight to Rossman and say, you know what? I went swimming this morning with my G4 Cube, and it's just not powering on now. What can you do?
Yeah, but that said, I think that does seem like a pretty good deal for somebody wanting to get a complete system with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cube is a lot of fun. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
hey, since we're getting out of the eBay section of things, I just wanted to say that I sent an offer on that first auction of $1, and we'll see where that ends up. But this other one, I guess, has a legitimate make offer. This one does not have a legitimate make offer.
Oh man, let's talk about what I see in the backgrounds of both your videos. Now that we've gone to this, I see. Ron, I see a very nice Apple IIe setup there.
It's very kind of you to say that. It's a very okay one.
To me, all Apple IIs, any Apple II setup is just seeing one is awesome.
Apple IIs are tanks. They're hard to destroy. I tell this story every time it comes up. A couple years ago, I accidentally shorted a card inside one of my Apple IIs to another card and turned the lead of a something on that card into a light bulb. And it glowed bright white. And the machine was like, okay. And it runs still fine. And as a matter of fact, it's this one right here. It's
nice. Yeah.
It may not look pretty, but by gosh, you plug him in, you turn it on, it's going to beep and it's going to boot up. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
don't
have
let
you?
the smoke out.
I still am using my Apple IIe that I bought new in high school with
Mhm.
money that should have gone for me to going to college, but I bought a 2E instead and don't regret it. And finally had a reefa cap blow on me. Actually, it was a very it was a very very low key. It was just kind of more of a.
Yep.
It's like whatever. I give up. It was a very dejected. Why won't you let me rest? Why?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And I got one of the rebuild kits. So yeah, not that they're really necessary, the reefa, but figured what the heck.
You can just bridge that. Just bridge that in the power supply, and you're probably fine.
Don't do that.
Speaking of bright white lights, anyway, or afterwards, the lack thereof of any light in your house at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will keep trying to work, I guess, is the takeaway here. All right. I am going to start recording for the next section. All right, gentlemen, you fine gentlemen who have gotten up very early for me to talk about Marchintosh. Let's do that thing.
Absolutely.
I've already seen some really cool things show up on Reddit and Facebook, and also Hackaday has done a couple of their segments on some of the stuff that's coming out from this year's Marchintosh.
It's really good to kind of see. This is our second year that Joe and I have ran this event. That we're really starting to get some traction and some recognition from some of these bigger sort of like media connections and kind of bigger people in our community. Just last year was a good first effort, and I think we made some inroads with getting the event out there, getting people excited about it. But Joe will tell you, this year has just exploded.
It has been crazy. We had people posting, tagging everything Marchintosh 2022 this year before March even started. So we got out to an insanely good start. I'm not on as many of these other formats as y'all are, you young kids with your Reddits and stuff. But
Our
on
hula
all of
hoops and the
yeah,
beatles. Yeah.
the pogo sticks, man. But seriously though, like on the media that I'm following, it's every day. It's Marchintosh. And, all we did was, do a couple videos, and we're telling people just do the thing. We love our Macs. They were an important part of computer history and an important part of the lives of many of us, even to this day. And we want everybody to just go out there, have fun with our Macs, show them being used, share the history, not just some general history thing. Well, here's folklore.org and how we made it, but
We just made a video about folklore.org.
dude.
Why
Ron, I always got to give you the crap, right? That's just my thing. But seriously though, also your personal history behind the computer, because that's really what it was about. I mean, that was Steve Jobs' entire vision too, the computer for the masses type of thing. So, we came up with this idea last year, and we're like, okay, March, Mac. Hey, look, it's a pun. Yeah. And then we just decided to do the thing and open it up to everybody. We didn't want to exclude anyone. We didn't want to say, well, you can't do this because you're not a big content creator. You can't do it because you're not on YouTube or whatever. It's like, if you got a way to put it out there, tag it so the search engines can find it and have fun with it. And it's just the response has been incredible.
Joe's right. There are other community events like December, and that was the thing that kind of inspired us to do this. But December very much felt like a gate-kept kind of event, that if you were not a big channel, or if you were you met some sort of artificial threshold for participation. And so that's why Marchintosh was set up from the ground up to be something that's trying to be as inclusive as possible. We did a lot of things that these other events don't do. Like there's a website that Steve from Mac 84 was very, very kind to set up. We've got artwork and things that Javier created. Havemaster created for us that is basically freely available that people could go and download and tag on their videos. They don't have to like go and search and try to find those things. We made a style guide so that way that people can get an
Nice.
idea,
All right.
to figure out how to participate. And then just had some very basic rules where it was like, just don't focus on like the latest greatest stuff. Like try to make this kind of a little bit of a retro event.
Yeah.
And it worked really well. And then now with the advent of all of these M1 machines, we've now got Intel Macs now that they're classic that are now part of the event.
Are there a couple of highlights that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they got this to work? Like I saw somewhere, controlling your old Mac from your new Mac.
Oh, the VNC, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And then wasn't there was there a Twitter one that came through? There was some sort of social media interfacey one. I thought I saw.
Or a Twitch client or something weird like that. I don't remember. And Sean from Action Retro also has been doing crazy stuff with like every variant of Unix and BSD and Linux possible, constantly. And that's been really nifty as well. Okay, I've got an old G3 Mac, but you know what? I can surf modern websites with it. So take that. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. But Joe's right. There's a lot of people that have made content that's very personal stories about like their connection with these old Macs or like stuff that they did in education or programming or whatever it was that kind of got them involved with it. I know Eric Miller did a video kind of about hypercard programming, which for a lot of people was their introduction to programming on the Macintosh. And so he made Wordle, just for fun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And there's other people that have made videos where it's just kind of showcasing or use this opportunity to kind of make product announcements and things. And I've just been really impressed this year with just kind of the wide array of content that has shown up under the hashtag Marchintosh 2022. So Marchintosh 2022.
Nice. Fantastic. I wish I had the knowledge that you all have as far as like I mean just no, but I mean as far as like I don't do any program. The only thing I can do is I can do graphics, and that's about it. My programming was on the Apple II days. I didn't get into the Macintoshes until mid '90s. But obviously, I've grown fond of them. But it's really nice to see. And again, your feel for how you wanted this to be for everyone versus kind of gate kept is within, as Joe mentioned, Steve's original vision for the Macintosh, the bicycle for the mind. So I think that's great that you guys are doing this, and that it's obviously growing.
Exercise bicycle.
Exercise bike. That's where you're pedaling and going nowhere, at least, right?
Yeah, at least maybe the Peloton for the mind. I don't know. where some stranger 6 states away is like hectoring you to like ride faster.
You wuss. All right, I have paused. For just talking about, so my kind of Marchintosh project is going to be finishing doing placards for my systems.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
That's cool.
Once I want to get them done, I'll put them out there on my site. So if anyone has.
Yeah, if only I had room to do something so nice. It's just shelves of just.
That's my garage.
Joe's basement, and it's way bigger than he lets on. Like it's TARDIS-y kind of big.
Nice.
It's 16 and a half feet, not just 16.
Yeah, I mean there's a washer and a dryer. I mean that's more than most people got.
And how often do you use the washer for retro brighting? It was just soak it in there and then just put it on the rinse cycle.
And I got yelled at. So once, exactly once.
Once.
You shouldn't have used all the gain.
Where'd all the
on mute.
OxyClean go?
Hold on a second, Joe. What happened to all the dryer sheets? I don't know.
I want to do, and I want to record the audio to let James decide whether he wants to include it. But I do wanted to talk to you guys about what are the projects both of you have going on right now, because I know you both do really fun stuff. So let's go ahead and start this bonus section.
Joe, I know about an amazing giveaway.
Yes.
All right. So Ron, Joe, you both are amazing content creators and product creators. I wanted to talk to you both a little bit about what
please,
you've got
please,
going
please.
on. Well,
doing the thing with the hand
come
where
on, please,
it's
please,
like-
guys, will you please share with us?
Sure.
So, Joe, let's start with you.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to start off with is something we're actually doing for Marchintosh. A nice little segue is that me and Ron and Rudy of Rudy's Retro Intel and Javier, which we've mentioned several times, we're doing a little giveaway this month of a Macintosh SE that we are all putting together as a group thing. And at the end of Marchintosh, we're going to have a little giveaway video where you can sign up to win that. And hopefully get somebody who's not had a Mac but is one of the watchers or listeners of our stuff be like, yeah, I finally got a Mac, yeah. So
Nice.
that's kind of the big thing that we're doing as a group. In Joe world, I have too much. For those who are watching the video version of this, they're going to see this pile of boxes behind me. It just lots of different things going on. The main thing that I'm doing in my world, though, as far as Mac related stuff is I'm an official Blue SCSI seller. So the Blue SCSI, of course, is the SCSI replacement hard drive thing that allows you to use SD cards in your old Macs, both the internal version and external DB25 version, so you can get rid of all those old spinner drives that are going to eventually have bad floppy drives. Those are floppy drives. They're going to have bad bearings and all of that stuff, and it's just a way that I like to try to get back to the community in a way and help, to be honest, fund my own little hobby back here as well. So we help each other out in a way. You help me, I help you, and we make the magic happen. Other than that,
yeah, the Blue SCSI is awesome.
Yeah. It's fast, and the most important thing that I find about the Blue SCSI is it's inexpensive compared to a lot of solutions. It's not crazy. It's not fancy. It doesn't have a lot of features. It's SCSI storage, Mac, done.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And Ron?
Well, I kind of to add on what Joe was saying about the giveaway. That was something that Rudy from Rudy's Retro Intel who is part of the Retro Repair Roundtable podcast. Shameless self promotion. That it was an idea that he had, and he thought that would be like a very cool idea to go ahead and give that out. So like Joe was cleaning up the machine, like in terms of like the motherboard, and I'm putting a Blue SCSI in it and configuring the software. Steve from Mac84 contributed a period appropriate keyboard and mouse. Rudy provided the machine originally, and then Javier is going to do RetroBrite and stuff, and then we're going to give it away to one lucky Marchintosh winner. So I thought that was very, very generous of everybody. Not me so much, but everybody else to kind of contribute and give to that. But that's the big thing, kind of one of the big things I'm working on this month. My days right now are kind of taken up promoting Marchintosh and just trying to retweet, and just because it's a big deal staying ahead of just making sure that people see the content for the event. I've got a couple of videos on things that I'm working on. I've got a project that I worked on with Steve from Mac84 about adding MIDI to the original Apple DOS card. I've got a video that I'm working on with Joe, because he repaired my PCI based DOS compatibility card. So I've got a couple of things I got to get out the door this month, but I think the thing that I'm most proud of is a secondary market upgrade for your Mackie if you follow the Macintosh librarian,
Yeah.
where you can now have a small fez for your Mackie. I'm not sure what the market is going to be for this, but the people I'm paying to tell me good things say that this could be the next hula hoop. So we'll see how that goes.
I have to say, man, my wife basically puts up with me in my hobby, but she loves the Macintosh librarian.
Mm-hmm.
And what's not to love? I mean, just
Oh,
that
yeah.
fez is absolutely.
I mean,
wonderful.
it's great, and I mean, it's got lots of different purposes, or lots of different uses, rather. I mean, you can, of course, go with the standard, or if you have recently graduated from college, you just switch it
It's
to
a
the
very
other
jaunty.
side.
It's a very jaunty look, and of course,
It is.
fezes are cool.
Yes,
Fez is cool.
Fezes are
absolutely.
cool. All right. Let us go on to the news, and of course, I just closed all the links, but
Lots of Mac news this week.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
I heard that they released some products.
Yeah, Yeah,
I heard
do
that
it
there's
occasionally.
an SE3, iPhone SE3, or as the kids call it, the SVI.
All right. What we got going on? Oh, Scarlet Swordfish. I see Garth Beagle has joined us.
50 Shades of Beige.
Michael.
My favorite quasi pornography.
Retro Tech or Die. Good morning, Retro Tech or Die. I don't know if I've seen you on here before. I see Wright Sublet, who's my friend who lives not too far away.
John,
All
you need
right.
one of those romper room mirrors. You hold the mirror up and it's like, I see Steven and Joe, and talk about deep cuts. There you go.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm on the tail end. I'm not that old. I'm on the tail end of romper room. I'm more of a new zoo review kid.
The news review is coming right at you.
Yeah, it is. Freddie Frog,
Yes.
man. He's my guy. Henrietta.
I
Hippo?
was Newzoo review. Absolutely.
It's the new zoo review.
Review coming right at you.
Yeah.
And so you got Freddie the Frog, Henrietta Hippo,
And there's an owl whose
The
name
owl.
I cannot remember.
These
Probably
guys are talking
Hootie.
about things I don't know if they are. I
Is
grew
Hootie?
up on a farm in
that.
the middle of nowhere. We had birds
All I know
channels.
is he wore a college.
He wore a placard,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, all right.
mortarboard, whatever you call that.
Let me share this.
He was quite out. He
screen.
was wise. That's the whole thing, right?
That's
Supposed to
right,
be really,
that's right.
really smart. They're like, I'm not going to digest these bones. Owls
Hey,
are so smart.
You gonna eat all that mouse?
Yeah, I just, I digested all the best parts. It's, I've got some hair and bones if you guys are interested.
Let's see here. Come on now.
That's the thing. That's my new thing. I'm gonna work an owl pellet joke into every podcast.
Did you hear that? What Ron's doing nowadays? Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Listen, owl pellet humor is gonna take off. It's gonna be the what about airline food of the 2020s.
You ever run across a owl pellet?
Have you ever been on an airline and they bring
What's up with that?
They bring you an owl pellet instead of a stroopwafel? What's the deal?
All right, I think I'm ready to finally share this.
Oh look,
Oh, okay.
it's that thing.
All right, so I'm sure not news to anyone listening or watching is that Apple had an event this week.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times, to me, the most exciting thing about these Apple events is the cool wallpaper I get to get for my whatever computer, because they usually have something pretty fun. But they actually had some hardware come out this week that I like but can't afford.
Same.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the Mac Studio. There, what we were thinking was going to be maybe a new Mac Mini, which I guess has been pushed down the line because they didn't want it to compete with their $2,000 starting price Mac Studio.
Right.
I like it. I mean, it's their new cube. Obviously, it's or like half a cube.
Right. It's 3/4
But,
of a cube.
Right.
And I do think that they used a
quarters
lot
of the price.
Right. I
Yes.
think they used a lot of restraint not calling this the Mac Maxi. Because you got the Mac Mini,
Right.
which
Right.
implies
Yes. That somewhere out there is a big brother, and yeah,
The Mac
that would be
SI
this.
called the Maxi. There you go. Anyway,
Mhm.
no,
Or as Michael says, it's the Fat Mini.
yeah, there
Yes.
you go. I watched the event when it came out. I saw the numbers on the screen, then I saw the
Mhm.
price, and I was like, I want one anyway. Um, but I think it remains to be seen a little bit what the performance is in the real world. Once people get these in their hands and they start to be able to actually test them and say, yeah, this is that and the other. But if the keynote is to be believed, this thing's a pretty powerful machine.
Yeah, and this isn't even going to be. Supposedly, they're also still working on a new desktop system.
Yeah.
Who knows what that's going to be like? Because this does look pretty impressive. I know nothing about the M1 Macintoshes. I still don't own one. I do think I will probably end up getting a Mac M1 Mini at some point. Just so I have one to mess around with, just to see. I'm still waiting for them for VMware or Parallels to get to the point where I can emulate basically an Intel Mac on one of these, so I can
We
continue
can play
to use
GTA
my.
5. We get it, John. We get it.
I do graphics, and I actually own legally CS5. The Adobe Suite, and I want to
You can pick
continue
that
to
up
be
at
able
a
to
yard
use it because
sale these
I
days, John.
refuse to spend to use software by subscription. Really, I that just irks me that you can't just buy the stuff outright anymore. So my rant over. Eventually I'll get an M1 Mac is what it boils down to, but not yet.
So I got a Mac Pro, wow, can't speak too early morning. MacBook Pro M1 Pro recently, and it just moves. It just happens. It goes. So if that's any sort of harbinger for what the studio can do, I think that it's going to be a killer machine. Steve from Mac 84. We always have to say he's from Mac 84, as if nobody knows who we mean when we say Steve. But
Well, it's that other Steve that's got it all screwed up. It's that Steve from that Pez podcast that is so popular that you don't want to create market confusion.
he Ron. Anyway, so Steve and I did an unboxing of that thing, and he's like, hey, here, Joe, I'm going to email you or send you this video clip thing. And we did like a live rendering of a video clip that he had put together. And I think it was I added every effect possible in Final Cut Pro, and it rendered the whole thing in about 35 seconds. Not that I'm trying to like flex that I've got one of these things, but the hardware is incredible in its capabilities, and every time they're bringing out a new one of these, it's and this is faster now. And by the way, it's faster now. Yeah. So.
And one more thing, it's faster now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really do think that I think it's been pretty well said that they have a winner on their hands, but they just keep winning better and better. And
Sure.
better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the whole M1 new architecture is I'm on the Mac Reddit several, and almost everyone who talks about their M1 Macs is very glowing praise, and I'm assuming all of them don't work for Apple. Um, a few at least, right? So yeah, it'll happen eventually. I mean, just kind of doing the podcast. I know that I get some pretty bad crackling in my audio, and again, it is a 10-year-old Macintosh I'm doing this on. So maybe it is time to upgrade to something else, at least for podcast purposes. So
I thought the crackling was just because this was an international call.
I need to pull the string on the can tighter. So we get
I just
better,
figured that
fidelity.
Atlantic Telegraph and Telephone had just not cracked it on international calls yet. But
hang on, guys. I have to put some more quarters in this thing.
Yeah. Sir, we recognize the sound of 2 pennies being thrown in a mason jar. Disconnect him. Disconnect him. That's my other thing. I'm going to make a funny farm joke in every podcast.
I'm not Funny Farm. That one I'm not familiar with.
Oh, it's a Chevy Chase movie. It's awful. Don't watch it. There you go. There's my review.
All right. There you go. All right. 2 thumbs down. All right. So I guess we are to the point we can wrap things up. And then we can hang on a little bit afterwards. Hang on a moment here. Well, all right, that is it for this week's episode of RetroMacCast. Joe and Ron, thank you both so much for coming on and talking to us about Marchintosh. So get ready to do this in unison. We'll see if we can get this to work. Always remember, it's not old.
It's DiGiorno.
Goodbye, everyone.
It's
DiGiorno.
I've been waiting forever to do that, by the way.
I love it. All right. Well, again, yeah, I do appreciate you guys getting up extra early, because, again, daylight saving. And
I mean, I got up yesterday for this. This is amazing. John, if you don't mind terrible, when you post this in an official capacity, would you please include the URL for the Marchintosh website?
Oh man.
And then also the link for you can put hashtag Marchintosh, but also hashtag Marchintosh 2022, just because we are still getting people that are using that are people that are just catching up. So it has been Moida trying to follow up on both of them.
So I am glad. Yeah, you guys. I know you guys mentioned Marchintosh 2022 for hashtag. Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that. I wish I had thought of, and I know you mentioned the website, but actually officially saying, where to go for that. And I'm, my bad on not.
You'll just have to have us on next week at a reasonable hour.
This is reasonable. Hey, again, I'm up at 5, so
you know what? Actually, I just got a message from James. He said we're the new co-hosts, and then he was like, "Just tell John that the show is now moving to 6 p.m. on a Tuesday." All right, so it's good to know, man. I'm glad that you're behind us 100%.
Oh man. Oh yeah, so there's I know Joe and I talked a little bit about Kansas Fest. Hopefully Kansas Fest happens in person. Ron, is Kansas Fest something you ever think you would go to?
I'm only 4 hours away, and in the Midwest, that's walking distance.
Dude,
so yes,
yeah. Have you? And you've never been?
I live 2 hours south of St. Louis. Well, here's the thing. I heard about it in the early 2000s. And would just kind of read the after action reports. And I'm like, wow, this seems really cool. But way over my head in terms of actual being able to go and contribute and enjoy this event. But the more that I saw other people going and having fun, I was like, oh,
Absolutely.
well, I should go. And then I saw Joe's video, not the one about the adult film he made, not the one about.
Dude, I am just killing it on OnlyFans.
Yes, I'm telling you, like Joe's OnlyFans, amazing. Like, I didn't know it. It is awoken feelings in me I didn't know that I had. But but I saw Joe's video about K-Fest, and I was like, this seems like a lot more fun than I.
It is very
thought.
accessible. Yeah, because I'm not a hardware. I mean, I love the stuff, but I'm not deep into how to actually do the stuff. I'm learning more. Yeah. Soldering and everything. But the first time I went was maybe 7 or 8 years ago now, and I brought a bunch of extra stuff with me. I brought my Apple II, but I'm like, it's gonna be a whole week. Surely there's gonna be like downtime to just. I'm gonna have to bring some books or something. Never touched a one. It was fun and fascinating the entire time, and it was a very welcoming community. Whatever your level of knowledge is, it's a great time. It really is.
To be fair, books suck, so I totally understand you not touching them the whole time you're there. You're like, do I really want to wash my hands if you're touching these vile
except
things?
For the burning part that
Oh no.
No.
But Joe made that video in like 2019. Is that when you made your video,
Yep.
Joe?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That was the year that I thought that I was going to go. I was like, I'll just drive out there. And then I was like, I looked at how much it was going to cost to stay and everything. It was like 300 something bucks. And I was like, I'm going to send my son to scout camp and things that I've never been. And this is like a whole week somewhere, living in dorms with like people I don't necessarily know. I probably need to find a friend that would go 1 year or something like that. And so I contacted Britt Dodd, and I was like, Britt, I've got like a ton of stuff I need to donate that I'm just sitting on. Can you take it out here? And so he kind of came and made the L across the state of Missouri to pick some things up. And so I donated, like, and that was kind of the big year of like, what is that thing called? The
Garage giveaway?
Well, yes, but that device, the floppy drive flux reading.
Oh, applesauce.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Applesauce.
All right. So that was the big year for applesauce out there, or like one of the first, I guess. And so I was like, I've got all this stuff, and there might be versions that are unarchived. I don't know. So I sent out like a huge, like literally like a child-sized coffin, because Americans refuse to use the metric system. So it's like, it was 6 washing machines. It was huge. So I sent this huge box of software out there to get archived. And I sent like some Apple 2GS stuff. And I sent like a ton of things, like some image writers, because you can't get enough image writers, right? So I was like, and then Joe posted that picture, and I was like, damn it, I missed like an amazing time. I am going in 2020.
Yeah. Right.
How did that work?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going in 2021. How did that work out?
So I know Joe and I were talking a little bit. Is they're still trying to decide whether they're going to do an in-person this year?
It's still kind of up in the air, I think. The last time we talked to anybody, we had Chris Torrance, one of the board members, on our podcast back in, what was it, January. And back then they were still kind of up in the air. Usually they have a decision made by April, because that's when they have to start planning everything. So I'm going to presume we're going to hear relatively soon what they decide to do. But the aim that we heard is they're going to do everything in their power to have it in person this year. But of course, I'm just some random guy in Ohio. I can't really comment what they're going to do exactly.
Well, they're going to have it in person regardless, but it might just be an unofficial event at the McDonald's on the corner at the edge of campus.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Meet in the parking lot, and we'll have some McFlurries. I heard the Grimace is going to be there.
Wait. Are you saying their ice cream machine's working?
Yes.
We're
now.
going to bring our own
It's
ice
the
cream.
last
We're
one.
going to make
Yeah,
our own McFlurries. I mean,
That's it.
copyright
That's it.
damn. We're just going to do it. So.
Who's bringing the cookie crumbles? Yeah, I've got a stockpile of hardware that I've been waiting to take to a retro computer fair or or Kansas Fest. Of one of the cool things about Kansas, you go there, you grab some hardware, you play with it for a few years, you bring it back for the next person to play with it for a few years. And so yeah, I've been repairing some compact Macs I was going to take with me, and some extra Apple II stuff that I got for projects that I'm now ready to return back to the wild. So yes, yeah, I definitely is going to help me get rid of some clutter. But
John,
you go there.
amazingly generous of you to do that. It's any 20th anniversary Macs, any all-in-one, any Dalmatian G3s.
Oh, I wish,
drop
man.
them
Do
all off
not,
at
do
Joe's
not even
house.
about the Dalmatian. I would love either one of those. But I actually do have, some compact Macs, which have started to show up there more. Even though, of course, it's an Apple II event,
In
nobody's going to turn to.
2019, I donated like two 512s, and like they were artist models. So one was painted pink, and I think one was painted like a light
Nice,
green.
nice.
And it's been funny to see those pop up out in the Mac community, because I saw
That's
somebody
awesome.
post on Twitter. It's like my daughter's like whatever kind of like green Mac 512. We did the restore and it's all working, and I was like, oh, it's great.
That is killer. Yeah, that is great. All right, gentlemen, I suppose I should release you back into the wild to be free range Mac people, or get a nap.
Yes.
And I'm gonna go back inside where it's warm because it's actually. He's finally. Out.
God, he's finally
No,
gone.
I'm still
wait.
here. I just joshing.
All right, guys. All right. Well, again, thank you so much. It's been a blast talking to you all. I did not expect quite the comedy routine this morning, and I love it.
That's all Joe and I have. That's all we've got. We're the Martin and Lewis of old Macintosh stuff.
And references that only half our listeners of a certain age are going to
I've
get.
got newer. We're the Sonny and Cher.
Sonny and who share.
Well, let's see who's got the best
I'll be
hair.
Cher. I'll be like whatever. I can't remember. There's like this, like if you see people doing a Cher impression, it's all like your head's like a bladder on a stick. I don't know why, but that's it. That's the shorthand of it.
All right, gentlemen. All right, bye.